Hey everyone, welcome to another Thirst Quencher. This is the Thirsty Nerds. We are going to talk about Matt Reeves, the Batman. My name is Sumo. I am joined here by
Clarence, not Stooge Prime.
Wow.
What?
We're using our real names.
Yeah, using the government because Batman knows it all.
I only have one name.
Yeah.
That's King.
What up, everybody? I'm
right.
Just One. And we are fresh off of a 3-hour banger.
Bat bang.
A bat banger.
Back banger.
Don't give them
Bada
ideas.
bing.
Bat bang.
Bada bing, bada boom over here.
I'm surprised. Like, I'm sure Pierce Keeper's like, Batman fucks bats, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Harley Quinn said that shit. In the
Well,
cartoon.
actually, I don't even know if they're even in the same universe, so let's slow down for a second.
That's
Yeah.
We this ain't Marvel. Everything ain't connected yet.
We just got done watching The Batman, and it was a ride.
We have some thoughts, and we're going to share them with you today.
Yes.
Bring us in. First of all,
Yes.
let's just go ahead and give our thoughts about the movie.
So we go spoiler free.
Spoiler free first. Please.
I actually like this movie. I think we'll go right off the bat and give my opinion. I really like this movie. It was the cinematography. I like the shots, the way that they use the different angles and the lighting. I really enjoyed that.
Like, I feel, I could be wrong.
Surprise, surprise. The only Batman sip in the room likes the Batman movie.
Like,
I liked it because it was we'll get to it.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. What do you say, man?
I do want to know, like, I'm going to look up when we, like, probably off the pod and everything. I want to know if it was filmed on film, like actual film, because it looks like it was.
Yeah.
But if it was digital, I love, like, whoever the fucking editor was is amazing to give that film look and everything, because this looks grainy but looks in a good way.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it didn't hurt my eyes.
No. Like, I could see everything. Everything was crisp. Everything was clear, especially with the lighting and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I also loved this film. It was really good. I thought it was,
I really enjoyed the film. But I always have an issue when I sit down for 3 hours and I can't move around or anything. So
Yeah, play him out. What's he talking about?
The 3-hour length was sometimes daunting.
Chris, play him out.
hey, don't cut me off. But this Batman movie, makes me want to go back and watch the other Batman movies just to make sure. But this one felt more like a murder mystery and Batman being an actual detective.
finally.
Because I thought this was called Detective Comics, and it's been a long time since we've seen Batman be a regular detective and not some super scientist.
Like in films, he always seems like just like actual superhero. Like, he just knows everything for some reason, or the crimes that he's trying to solve are so simple he literally has to do nothing.
He just has to, roll up to the warehouse and punch somebody in the head.
Yeah.
Tell me where it is. Okay, I'm going to tell you.
I think it goes without saying. Obviously, I really enjoyed this movie as well. But with anything in this life, I don't want to take away from Matt Reeves' accomplishment here. It was good. I liked it a lot. But if you do something 7 times, you better make it perfect. I expect nothing less as a door prize. But it was a really solid film. It was really good. So let's just get into it. More specifically, what did we like? Let's talk a little bit about what we liked, performances. I know you guys talked a little bit about the look of it, but for me, I know I talked about it on the pod a few episodes back, but I love the prosthetics route, and not just like with the people in the movie, like the city. Like, this is clearly Chicago. There are parts of it,
Chicago,
but there's stuff built on it, like old shit.
Yeah.
Like, it gave it that real Gotham look. This is the best Gotham's ever looked.
Yes, I agree. That little shot where the car came around that U-turn type corner, that was fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
It felt like Gotham.
Absolutely. For me, when he went under the bridge, and then even the club itself, like this is probably the most Gotham has ever felt. Like in the ones that were bold enough to try, the ones that weren't very good, the Adam what's his name, Schumacher Batman movies in the 30s.
And the Tim Burton one.
Yeah,
Tim Burton went full on.
They went that full gothic-esque.
Especially Tim Burton. He decided to like just
he went
like
crazy.
Yeah, he tried to. It felt like he was trying his best to make it seem like the cartoon.
Yeah.
But more exaggerated.
And then they got to the guys who came later with the George Clooney shit, where it literally looked like Gotham was suspended in midair. and like how
that gigantic statue.
That was when they were trying to take 1-for-1 representation from the comics and not go. Maybe we should make this look more like a realistic setting.
Yeah, man. But like, this movie has
it's the beauty of the marriage of all of that. And
even the technology that he used, it has that like does something like that actually exist? And even if it did, it's like stripped away bare basics to where that's believable. I could see someone with a couple of dollars getting their hands on something like that. Everything in here like worked. The way it looks, the way it sounds. Let's get to the performances.
Save some for everybody.
Yeah, that's why I'm opening up. That's me. That's a segue. I was opening up the floor.
Okay, like no.
What did you guys think of the performances, Clarence? What did you enjoy?
My man Colin Farrell, like I'm in love. He killed it.
Beautiful.
He completely crushed it.
Absolutely.
I don't want to see any more mean people talking about Danny DeVito being the best Penguin. Blah blah blah. I don't give a shit. This is the Penguin.
Look,
this is the Penguin.
I disagree with that.
We don't have to tear down.
No, I'm not tearing him down. I'm not tearing him down. I'm just saying this guy knocked it out the park.
He did.
I'm not downplaying Danny DeVito's performance. I'm saying I prefer this guy's performance.
That's fair. No, like those are two different it's apples and oranges.
Because
and
he's not necessarily the Penguin yet.
No,
he's like he's on his way too. Right now, he's just the enforcer, and even then, the bones look pretty goddamn good.
But and it feels like he's gonna be more of like a real person instead of just being I look like a penguin. Like that. I can see him waddle and stuff. Like that was cool. Like it was subtle, but you can still see the waddle and everything. You can see him with the nose and he has the scars and stuff. But it wasn't like so over the top where he looks cartoony compared to everyone else. And everything. Like he doesn't have web hands or anything because that's not the kind of world we're living in. I have to say.
Yeah, go on.
Granted, we haven't had that too many Riddlers and everything besides like.
We had a really crazy one.
We had we had Jim Carrey, and then we have the guy from Gotham. I don't
we don't count him.
Hey, bro, let's not talk about Gotham.
Gotham, that's still a thing. Okay, I'm sorry.
It doesn't have to be.
I actually, I love this. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to like like Riddler or if he was going to actually even be like a character. Like I was thinking like maybe we're going to see like a couple videos of him doing his thing, putting out his messages or whatever. But I like this guy. Like I liked his version of his interpretation of like someone who has this sort of psychosis thinking that he's like a hero himself. And I love the twist of how him being connected to Batman in a way that Batman's his inspiration this time around. Like Batman has been doing stuff in the city so much that he didn't have the right influence that he thought he was going to have. And I see that through him. I see like, now I have a chance to do something for the city myself, just like Batman. And I love that. Like, he really feels like he's the good guy. And he, I know
he's one of those guys I was talking about. He saw the flyer and he said, "This guy makes sense. Let's go shoot people."
Yeah.
I was wondering where those people came from. Now I know. Yeah, the Riddler was one of the standout performances. Gordon, I'm a huge fan of him.
Yes,
the way
right.
The good cop, bad cop, then the him and Robert Pattinson had was really enjoyable. It took me a little bit to get into the performances. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was my own hesitancy. I wasn't the craziest about his Bruce Wayne.
Me either.
His Batman was cool, and in some points he had some low spots. Like you don't sound that scary. Like when he was talking to like Selena in the room, I was like, he just sounds like a little fucking nerd. Like
Yeah.
There wasn't too much of a difference between the way he carried him, even though we didn't see him as Bruce Wayne often. But when we did see him as Bruce Wayne, there wasn't a difference in the way he carried himself.
I honestly, like, I was talking about to Jamal outside the podcast, and I honestly think that was intentional.
100%. I agree with that 100% because they did tell us this is his second year as Batman, so he's still trying to get his hands and his life around this doing this hobby.
Like right now, he's in the high. Like he wants to just be Batman and do nothing else.
Yeah, they told us in the beginning of the movie that
that letter.
He's just looking for potentials all the time. He doesn't even know how to shut it off. He doesn't even look human when he walks. He's just like,
this movie was a awesome look at mental health. I mean, listen, everybody in Gotham is insane, from the fucking homeless people to the mobsters.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is insane. I think the only one that was like kind of sort of sane was Alfred, and he got taken out real fucking fast.
Well, Gordon was insane.
Gordon was kind of crazy too.
I mean, yeah, like
Crazy for justice.
Because you have to admit, like year one, he's like, "Hey guys, come on, I got the guy outside.
That is
rookie. I want to bring him in. Can I?"
Okay,
We got this high profile murder, and I'm bringing this bum in here.
He's like, now he dresses a little weird. But I'm telling
what do
you,
you
this
mean
guy's
weird?
legit. He
Hey, what do you mean weird?
Well,
I mean,
what you gonna see?
Are we talking shorts in the winter weird?
I mean,
sandals.
speaking of,
he's like, oh, Mikey. No. I'm way crazy. Like
this guy thinks it's Halloween all year round.
Man, this movie's inspirations. A lot of people said Long Halloween is one of the inspirations for this, along with Batman. Damn.
I mean, it did happen during Halloween.
Yes.
So it's that.
And with that, like the tone the movie set, like the hard work he put in to make them afraid when the lights are off and they look at shadows twice. That's the kind of stuff that I like to see. Like, especially because there's not a lot of avenues that, Hollywood has explored when it comes to, Batman. They just go straight for, and shout out to them to doing the part that the movies have got like kind of wrong up until this point. Well, not wrong, but you see it more often than not. But the not making it look sexy, like the movies in the past, he'll go out, beat some criminals or whatever, and then he'll come back and he'll put a little jumper on, fight somebody over,
by the fireplace.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Shoot.
Yeah, with his little silk turtleneck, But this makes it like,
man was no playboy.
Not at all.
He was that insane recluse that's just beating up homeless people.
Yeah,
that man looked like a certified warrior without that suit on, bro.
I love that little part when he tried to push the table. This show flexing his little bird wings in the back.
Dude, I thought he was legit exercising.
No, I mean maybe he was.
Like he was clearing out,
Yeah, at one point, like the first time they showed his back, I was like, "Hey, he's kind of big." I was like, and then and then they like panned over, and I was like, "Oh, he's hunching."
Yeah,
so
he's
hard.
hunching hard, man.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
It did get me. Hey,
I honestly,
I'm just saying.
it kind of reminded me of the Joker vibes a little bit, like when he was just like trying to open up
he
his
too
shoes.
was trying very hard.
Yeah, but no, I mean, but I do like this different direction. He doesn't need to be like a fucking monster, and he can still be. I don't know. Like I know, like we're all like you guys were a little like iffy about his Batman and everything. I liked his Batman.
Who's you guys?
Yeah.
Who's you guys?
No, I liked it.
No one in this room.
I came out the cuff swinging from Robert Pattinson.
Well, I didn't come out the cuff swinging from him, but I wasn't ready to shit on him.
Yeah.
No, like I kind of like off the ball like choices for these types of roles and everything because they always surprise you because
when it works.
When it works. Like I can't think of when was like. Can you think of some time that didn't work? Like,
Yes.
I
I was getting to it. All right.
Okay.
Picking motherfucking what's his name? Tom Holland for Nathan Drake. That doesn't work.
You're right.
Another one, picking Mark Wahlberg to play Sully. That also doesn't work.
You're right.
Those were horrible choices. So that's when it doesn't work. But go on, what you were saying.
Those are very
Horrible. In the same movie too.
I liked him when he was intimidating. I didn't like him when he spent too much
time talking.
like deviating from his Batman persona.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get it. He's still like young, learning it, but and if that's what they were going for, awesome. They knocked it out the park. It's just like a little preference that kind of like tuned me off because they did present this Batman like he has been terrifying Gotham.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And then the first scene when they see him is like, who the fuck are you supposed to be?
Like, really?
They must have heard of him, but they never seen him.
Yeah.
They haven't seen him.
That was the mental gymnastics that I had to do in my own head.
Me too.
Like, this movie wasn't perfect by any means, but it was super fun.
I also like the fact that, like, speaking of, how we're talking about how they saw him and everything, and they still not really afraid. They're just like, we've heard of him. This movie doesn't like hand feed you the story. Like, honestly, I was sitting there waiting for a flashback of his parents getting shot.
God.
I was waiting for my man's kill streak to continue.
Yeah. I guess we'll get to spoilers.
Matt Reeves, thank you for being the first Batman movie to not dwell on
the pearls. The pearls.
There were no pearls.
No pearls. Not a hint of pearl. He didn't like keep them or something like
We've
that.
been seeing these pearls dribble for the past 25 years, bro. Let them relax. Let them roll into the sewers and be gone forever.
Put him in a clam. Call it a day. Yeah, put him back in the clams.
No, but
shout out to him also. Like kind of setting up. Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in the spoiler territory. But this was just a solid movie.
Anything that you guys didn't like? So, for example, some of the story beats were a little dragging to me.
That's that 3-hour time limit, man.
The 3-hour time limit.
True.
Some of the dialogue actually I actually really liked the way that it was written. So that's usually a nitpick for me, but this movie had great script. Really just some of the...
If I had to think of something that I didn't like... Okay, and this is like a nitpick. Like a nitpick. Batman is a detective, and I like how they lean on each other to figure everything out, and I mean everybody. Even at one point, Penguin helps him figure something out. But if it's something I had to nitpick about, Batman really isn't as smart as he says he is because, like, the Riddler was next door to the club the whole time.
Hey, man, you said spoiler territory.
Like, oh, that's right. Yeah,
relax.
Yeah, I messed that. I've hit that one.
Holster that gun right quick, partner.
That's all right. I have one thing. I think the climax of the film didn't really hit home for me as much as I thought it was. Like,
Took the words right out of my mouth. It was dragging.
It was granted, I was like, oh shit, this is serious, and I could pretty much, I feel like it could have just ended like that, and then like, all right, my mistake, I fucked up.
Yeah, in the third act, it felt like there could have been at least 3 points where the movie could have faded to black, and could have stood up and walked away. We all would have been happy.
Yeah, but like I know it needed some sort of. I'm sure maybe that was the original ending or something like that, but I'm sure it really they wanted to wrap this up in a bow or something like that. So but with that, it lingered on, like you said, it lingered too, like, overstayed its welcome, unfortunately. But that's, like I said, it's a nitpick and everything. I still liked it. Like, I still like where it left us and everything.
You know how usually they have like director cuts that are like way longer?
Yeah.
Can we get like an edited cut for like, because I want to watch this movie again, but I don't have 3 hours to watch this movie
This
again.
is true. We need the tighter version. The cut.
Yeah.
Give me the vlog version. Like when you vlog, they cut all the dead air. Just go from line to line.
Yeah.
Can I get music that's out of place? On top of the film? Yeah, that's the only way I can
What do
do
you
it.
want, show tunes?
No, I mean like how they do it on Instagram. Everything they show me is just with music from wherever. Doesn't really fit.
Everything's on a filter. Like showing some music.
With that being said, I think we dropped a few little spoilers. My bad.
Yeah,
our bad.
It's okay,
But
it's not the biggest one.
If you're on the fence to go see this movie, go see this movie.
Please.
It's super. It's a fun ride.
Yes.
Or just wait till the DVD hits and then watch it then. You'll still not regret it if you're on the fence.
You're right, 100%. With that being said, we are going to be going into spoiler territory. So if you have seen the movie and if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. If you don't give a fuck, stay around because
obviously you don't give a fuck. You're watching a review.
Is this movie? Is this movie chaotic and hilarious?
It's got some stuff going on.
So many
It's got some
memorable moments. So many good moments.
I should have said this during the non-spoiler, but the movie did a good job of keeping tension, but not with action.
Yes.
So there was maybe a grand total of 3 action scenes in the entire film.
But they were big.
Oh, they were great.
One of them I didn't particularly enjoy, but you know,
Go ahead.
That
Shit.
probably. I mean, the hallway fight scene with the lights going on and off. I didn't enjoy that.
Really?
didn't like that?
I love
When he was
that.
taking like a hail of gunfire.
Was
and
that
fighting the
because you
guys.
basically saw this fight scene in the trailer?
No, it's just because that just
Or
outside the club not too long ago, when Batman got sprayed with a submachine gun, he fell down onto the street. And then, like, when he was indoors fighting them, he was taking
I
hail
think that was
gunfire
playing
to the chest.
possum,
You know
so
what's
he
different?
could slither into his truck.
No, that shit knocked him down, though.
You know what's different? It was, like in a video game where like a mob boss or like the boss has a gun, even though another person's already had that gun, it's more power behind it. Penguin shot him.
That Penguin Uzi has some hollow point rounds, bro.
That's a legendary weapon, my
It's
guy.
a legendary,
I guess, yeah.
legendary drop.
I got rid of all of that as soon as I saw him take the first gunshot, and I was like, oh, we don't care anymore. The man got shot by a sniper rifle.
Point
and then-
blank.
Multiple sniper rifles.
and then fell to a fucking double barrel shotgun. Like,
Yeah. It started,
One
it
is
only got
going
crazier. It only got crazier and crazier.
this movie did another thing we should have probably mentioned in the before. This movie was a great noir, like modern noir film, down to the fucking dialogue.
Oh yeah.
That's super. I didn't know if we were in Boston. I didn't know if we were in Chicago or New York. It was like a mixture of all 3 accents.
Yes.
Everywhere. It was
That's what Gotham is.
fantastic.
It's every major city all wrapped up in one. It doesn't take any of their good qualities, only their crime.
The only thing I needed to send me over the top was like, yeah, see?
Yeah, please. Just one more, so please.
Again, it's Clayton for you, Batman. It's Clayton's for you.
And speaking of which, because I should have brought this up in the non-spoiler.
We keep saying
it. We just keep saying it. Like, it's okay, our bad, whatever.
Okay.
Catwoman. Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. Listen, honey. All right? Honey has 2 things, okay? She has claws, and she has glasses for reading, and they're both sharp, okay? She fucking read Batman for wealth. You know, she figured it out. She was great. I mean, she was this is probably, in my mind, the best Catwoman on screen.
Yeah.
She was dope. She fucking knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I hope she comes back.
Please.
Wow.
Like, I actually like the fact that they gave her a substantial role in the plot instead of just kind of like a side story. That, like, okay, granted, I have my gripes with Anne Hathaway's Catwoman and everything, but I don't even feel like she even had a chance compared to what else was in that movie. Like, she was like pushed aside by, you know, the Talia al Ghul shit and Bane and shit like that, you know, and them going underground for like, what, how long they were, like, a
2
year?
years.
2 years. Shit.
What?
The beauty about this film is that maybe the 3 hours were the answer, the key for all this is that they were able to balance all these characters so
All
well.
these plot points, yes.
Everybody got fleshed out. Everybody had their
Everyone had their
screen
moment,
time.
yeah.
Everybody was able to stand apart from everybody else.
I've never liked Martinez in any other fucking movie, but I kind of like Martinez in this one.
He's a hardworking man.
I kind of wish, like, I know like this happened off screen, like in the past and everything, but I kind of wish we had more reason why Gordon trusts Batman so much, because he let this man do so much. Like, I know he believes in him, but I wish we had a better reason why he believes in him and risking his job and his safety.
That's one of those, just like the Batman's parents thing. This is one of those that we don't need elaboration for because we know that they're best buds.
Yeah.
I mean, or it's as simple as this. Like, Gordon is realizing he's backed into a corner. Like, just like the comics, the movie did this well. It paints a real quick scenario. If the city's corrupt and you're the only good cop in it, why wouldn't you trust a psychopath in a bat suit if he's trying to solve the case?
Like, what are the other options? Trusting that hideous hair lip commander he has?
Oh my God, buddy. You okay?
He did not
What's
like
going
him.
on here?
I mean, every time he was on screen, he was a scumbag. So
I just wanted to brush that thing. It looks so fucking dirty.
Wow.
He had that high
look dirty.
pitch. You gonna get him?
I'm also
Like
like,
that high pitch mobster fucking action. This was great.
I know Heido like mentioned that this felt like a noir film.
Yeah.
It felt like kind of not really, but it felt like a modern like period piece of that time and everything. But I have to say, granted, these parts weren't too bad, but they kind of threw me out. I giggled when they show up. The whole streaming scene,
Yeah, the social media shit.
The social media shit really I know he had to get those videos across somehow in a modern way, but fuck, like how he was getting those hearts and shit.
like,
and people were commenting, you like read them like, oh my god,
How else would that go down?
No, I'm not saying. I know this is probably the only way they could have done it, but it was still funny. Like it still made me giggle.
I did laugh. Hi guys.
He's all, oh my god, hello, thanks for the follow.
He's like, hey,
I know it's been a while.
Motherfucker have moderators.
He's like, hey, I'm gonna wait for a few more people to start filling in before I start.
We're just getting ready. Like he puts up the fucking pause for a second. Like I need to go real quick. Give me a second.
He turns on the bisexual lighting. He's like, I'm about to get started.
And it was an excellent way to show how the Riddler has Riddler goons.
Yeah, true.
It was an excellent way to show that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just to have goons out of nowhere.
He created a fucking Discord.
That's right. That's right.
And of course, the filth filled right in, found their way at home.
9chan flooded the gates.
Hell yeah! Speaking of which, that is one thing I liked. And yeah, the way it came about, it's it wasn't as clean, but it's something that does exist.
Like I know I'm probably there was no other way to do that. Like it was gonna be shocking, no matter kind of shocked to the system. Like oh, this is weird.
If I see where you're coming from, but if that's the only way they did it, if they just if they left us to assume this is how it all fell together when we're not seeing it just through the social media thing, I would have been left a little bit more unsatisfied. But there are other facets to it. Like even
I
that
heard
scene,
every water atom go down his throat.
like even that scene when we're at the end and he's facing off with the goons. One of the goons says to him that I'm vengeance, and it's like at that point you're like. We're the same. We're doing the same thing. I really like that.
I love this. Like movie. It doesn't seem a lot of movies do this. Like anymore. I don't know why. When it comes to like big cinema films and everything, that's like basic 101 screenwriting shit. Having a callback and bringing it back like a smoking gun and having it come full circle. That's like. I haven't seen that for one. Hell, in a fucking Batman film and stuff. So I just love it. It means so much. Like it. Granted, I kind of wish, like, if it was like more realistic, you would think that Batman would fucking stop being Batman.
Well,
no, he can't.
Like, I know he can't. I'm just saying, like,
he don't sleep. He got all night.
He
got all night and 2 fists.
Like everyone's giving
2
him
feet.
Everyone's giving him clues like, hey, you're not doing anything with your money, it seems like, or hey, you probably don't know what you're doing. You're just some rich guy who's punching people all the fucking time. And you see, like, by the time the movie ends, his influence started all this. If it wasn't for Batman, the Riddler wouldn't have done what he's done, most likely.
That's a common Batman talking point, isn't it?
That's the reason why I love this movie, because this movie was literally just a 5-arc issue of Batman just thrown on screen. Yeah. They didn't change anything. They kept the chaos. Fuck it, we're blowing up Gotham, and next week they'll be all right.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, he's like,
the National Guard's coming. We'll be okay.
And then at the end, Batman's going to say he learned something, but
he's not.
Didn't learn anything.
He's like, oh God, I did this. I can't stop. I have to fix it.
I'm in too deep.
No time to reflect. Must keep beating up people.
Every Batman Villanova says, I wouldn't exist if you did this. And he's just like, that's not true. I am justice.
I'm justice.
You exist because of crime.
Crime can only be solved with this.
And she destroys another orphanage and creates another Joker.
Absolutely. Can you imagine how many orphanages he just made with that film? So much. And let's just get it out the way. Miss Real, I mean, I like her a lot, but if Gotham's gonna become the absolute shithole that we know and love, she's gonna have to die. You gotta get her out of here. There's no way she's gonna change Gotham if we're gonna get what we're getting. No way, because we need these sequels. This was good. We can't have her roadie this.
I remember people getting a little upset when Batfleck had a body count. Patterson has massive corpses on his hand.
Not like,
I mean, that dude at the beginning of the movie, like the first guy who tried him, who tried to test his frame, and then he literally killed him. That guy did not get back. he was in the trailer. You all saw it. You witnessed the murder. He killed him.
I'm surprised the homie could have said, "I'm vengeance" after getting his teeth.
I was gonna say, if Vengeance Man got fucking beat the fuck up by enhanced Batman, like adrenaline.
He only got 3 punches, guys. He only got 3 punches.
No, he got 10 punches. He got like 10, 15 punches. He put the venom in his thigh and he just wham, 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 wham. The guy said, "You punch like a bitch. I'm vengeance."
Honestly, I thought that was going to be a film like, oh, that was his first like kill. Like he actually went too far or something like that. But now he was just
Nah,
He was
not
fine.
that close to the end.
So like, don't worry. As we said,
These
like
goons have fucking rock faces.
I was gonna say, like, as Gotham was, everyone's crazy. Also, everyone's pretty invulnerable. I mean, have you fucking Batman took a bomb in the
Point blank.
I don't.
No bruises, no missing teeth, no blemishes.
Like, I don't care about like his. I know his armor is probably fine, but his mouth.
yeah, when you take this mask off,
His grill
whole
should
thing-
be fucked.
His grill should be off. Like his brain should be mush.
Yeah.
Yo, when he did the flying squirrel suit he had, and he hooked it underneath the train, tracks.
I got.
Oh shit!
That was
yeah.
great.
That was great.
When he fucking smacked the bottom of the
that.
bridge.
I
love that.
got fucking Spider-Man 2 vibes when he tried his best to get the fucking.
Oh, my back.
Up.
And that was
He
probably
just
even though.
wobbled off into the alley. He's like,
Yeah.
And I
No
liked
cape.
his reaction there. It seemed like that was his first time doing it. Like he had the gadgets ready, and he was never expected to use it so fast. He's like, "Oh my god, look at this drop!"
Yeah, the movie does a lot of things subtly that we had to know was coming, but how they delivered it was just it was it was pretty good.
Seeing Batman develop as Batman was a real joy to see. That scene that you say the first time using the bat suit, really dope.
Yes,
really well done.
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and one thing that you were talking about, about how nonsensical Gotham is with some of their elements. This is something that is a standout to me. Is the main thing essentially comes down to the Wayne money is being used in a way that would essentially allow crime to continue, and you see Batman do all this stuff for 3 hours straight. Like we talked about, people help him. He figures it out slowly. He's chasing his tail. The man probably could have figured this out if he just got a decent night's worth of sleep for once. He probably could have woke up the next day. Hey,
Wait a
Alfred, can
minute.
you check check that banking account? Whatever happened with all that money? That was like $1 million, right? Yeah,
$1 billion.
It was more than $1 million.
It was $1 billion.
billion
It was $1
dollars.
billion.
There's still money in there?
It's like, what happened? Oh, there's still money in there? Where's it going? Oh.
To who?
To? Oh. Yeah.
We should probably cut that out.
We should go to the police. We should probably go to the police. But
But then we wouldn't have we wouldn't have had a 3-hour movie.
Of course not. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it is. I mean, to be so methodical as they showed us.
What we learned from this movie is that if Bruce Wayne would just look at his financials,
Look at the money.
and put his financials where they're supposed to be, we wouldn't need a Batman.
Hire a
Absolutely.
fucking accountant.
He was so dead set. If he took fucking Alfred's advice, because apparently it was hinted that he trained him, at least in some of the shit that he was doing. I feel like if he didn't take what Alfred taught him to heart too much and everything, think he can solve everything with his fist, maybe he would, like you said, like he would be a little bit smarter and look at his money. Even if he's not running Wayne Corp, he could at least look at what's going on.
I mean, I just want the guy to take a nap. You probably
That
see a
too.
lot of things clear, like the fact that the fucking Riddler is literally across the street
You
from
know-
the fucking club.
You know what made me fucking crack up? Is that Alfred mentions being in the service or it's like back in the days, and he turns around and he took him 7 minutes for him to figure out that package was a bomb.
Yeah, dude. What?
I wonder what this is.
That thing said for Bruce's eyes only. Well, I'm his fucking father, so I can see
I
anyway.
know he committed a minor felony.
Yeah.
Why is this thing beeping?
Like,
Beep beep.
damn, this envelope's heavy as fuck for a letter.
But
Man,
just
what's
like
that underglow?
but just like Batman, he took that. I mean, he threw it, but it still fucked him
Yeah,
up. But
he technically,
was
but
fine.
he didn't have a an Omni bulletproof vest on at the time.
He
so.
is bulletproof.
He is bulletproof. He was in the war.
Fucking
I think.
MI6.
You're right. He was catching ricocheted bullets and throwing them back.
For clear
Exactly.
country.
Did you not read the comic with Alfred
Yes.
in
Did you
the
not read
snow?
Pennyworth? Yes.
Did anyone notice the absurd amount of cops in the
Everywhere?
No, just in the building when he was escaping the precinct?
The
Yeah.
absurd amount of floors in this building. every building.
Floors. And every floor had people with guns shooting at them. How does Gotham have so many cops but so much crime?
It kind like him doing when he was running out.
Defund the police and Gotham.
Defund the police. Fucking ACAB, baby.
When he was running out of the precinct, or when he was also getting into the club for the first time and everything, it reminded me like of running into a fucking dungeon in Elden Ring, like just dodging, like
I wouldn't know.
Get up.
We wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
Huh?
We wouldn't
Yes.
know.
We wouldn't know.
It does remind me of that, Chris.
Thank you. It does. Like, I need to just get to that fucking grace. That's all. Like, I just need to get there.
Hey, man,
Dodging and
hey,
weaving.
I'm gonna kindly ask you to like not talk about Elden Ring in my presence because I really,
This is Dark Souls shit.
Listen.
What?
I really don't want to hear anything about it. I'm very particular about not spoiling the game.
My man is gonna stab you.
I'm asking you very nicely. Could you
Okay.
please? Thank you.
But did I spoil anything for you?
You don't
Yes.
don't jump back to it.
That's not what I asked.
Don't
Yes.
jump back to it. Just say okay. I appreciate it.
Get to the review.
Anyway,
Talk about the fucking Dark Souls games.
besides all the good parts and stuff, okay, let's just see it. Compared to all the other Batman films and stuff, are like this Batman is this
we
kind of
ranking
rocking?
Batmans?
Yeah, we're ranking
ranking
Batmans.
Batmans?
Yeah,
Ranking
All right,
Batmans?
Fuck it, let's do it. Yeah,
Okay.
just raw opinion. Like, do you think measure up a little bit
Okay. All right. I can confidently say for me, like, overall, there's some stuff that's, lower, higher in certain places. But overall, I think this is the best compository of Batman things I've seen on screen, like, whatsoever. The Catwoman, the Gotham, the Batman stuff.
We didn't even talk about the boss ass Batmobile reveal.
The fucking Batmobile, everything about this felt right. Like, but then again, like I said, do something 7 times. You better fucking come correct. They had everything figured out. Like, this is probably the best Batman that we've seen on screen. The tone is correct. It's not the darkest. It's like it is pretty dark, but it's not the darkest. You know what I mean? Like they tried too hard elsewhere. But this is good. Yeah, this was the best. Best Catwoman, best Penguin by far. Easily standouts for me.
Yeah, Clarence?
Yeah, for a total package, this is probably the best Batman experience that you'll get on the silver screen. Because first and foremost, Batman is a detective, and it's been a long time since we've seen Batman be or do actual detective work and struggle.
Has there been an actual movie where he's been an actual detective? I can't think of one.
No, like it was a little bit in The Dark Knight, and by that I mean like
Before
Lucius Fox just made him gadgets to help them.
like, hey, I shot a bullet in here, and these bullets kind of match up with these bullets, so I figured it out.
That's it. I'm a detective. Back to the action.
Back to the movie.
Yeah.
Back to the action.
They nailed it in that scene where he was in the murder scene, just walking around looking at little details, and and the way that the cops are like working around him and like really that dynamic.
They're uncomfortable
was fucking
too.
Great, yeah. And then like the photographer's like, "Shit, did I miss something? What did you see? Fuck."
He keeps them on their toes.
Yeah, it
that's great. That's another subtle thing they did really well.
Yeah, like I have to say, like I mean, honestly, like it's because I was like trying I was comparing this so much, especially while I was watching a little bit, like even subconsciously, like to The Dark Knight, because like before this, that was my favorite, out of all the Batman films. But honestly, like the Joker kind of like carry that movie so much. It was so unbalanced, like compared to like me trying to like Batman, even though Christian Bale's Batman was just like he was just running around most of the time. But this one felt balanced compared to like all the plots, and they all seem to matter, and they're all integral to this plot. So,
and he wasn't trying to be above law enforcement. He was continuously working with them and abiding by their laws and their rules and regulations all the time.
I also like I appreciate,
but that's how he is in the comics, isn't it?
No, Batman will straight up punch these niggas in the face.
I am happy.
He will not.
No, does he not want law enforcement to have the respect and power that they should to be able to govern the city?
to an extent.
I mean, that's all well and good, but the second they step in front of what Batman's trying to do, you find out real quick.
When they're not on the side of justice, you get flattened.
I also appreciate, and yes, I know that
he was about to smoke. He was about to smoke in the.
He
in
assaulted
the
3 cops.
Yeah, it's true.
He was ready to assault more.
They're all corrupt. They're all corrupt.
I'll take you in for assaulting a cop.
Three more.
I also want to mention that I actually like granted, I know he does have a bit of a body count, especially during that fucking drive sequence and everything. A lot of people died. Granted, it was.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the fucking highway.
That was probably the best chase scene.
Yeah,
So many people
ever seen
died.
in a long time.
but I am happy that he didn't like murder anybody.
I don't care
like
about
with
that.
no, because like it feels like in every Batman, especially a lot of superhero films, especially from DC and everything in the movies, he just murders the end villain and everything. He kind of makes an exception at the last minute, like in The Dark Knight Begins. Batman Begins and everything. He doesn't save Ra's al Ghul in Batman '89, everything doesn't he kill? He kind of just drops.
he kills minions. He dropped a guy in a sewer system.
But
with a bomb.
he kills the Joker, right? Like he kind of like drops him.
No, actually, the Joker's fake teeth, whatever. I think it bites his hand and he lets him go, and then he falls to his
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
he did something to provoke it. Like it was.
He can take bullets, but you bite his hand. It's over.
You know, and like I'm just, and then he clearly keeps talking about how like, hey, I don't do guns, and we don't kill people. I try my best, like you said before, like I'm trying my best to do within as much in the law as possible. Without
He said that. I didn't say that.
Oh yeah,
I would never.
I'm
say
used to it. It's okay.
but
Knowingly, let me paint a scenario. Knowing that he can tank a bullet, he moved out of the way so that the goon could shoot the other goon. Is that not murder?
Yes,
good point.
it is.
Yeah, I mean it's practically murder.
Hey, they were not the main villain, so I don't care.
Oh,
They were-
so
they-
you
They-
make
they
so
were
you
for-
too
they
make
were-
a
They were
distinction.
people from 4chan. They're not human.
They're
Exactly.
they're NPCs. It's okay.
And I mean, speaking of main villains, you guys want to talk about the little reveal at the end?
Oh no,
Left.
first say like, is this your top Batman film
Oh,
or no?
I still really love the Keaton movie. That has a special place in my heart. That will forever be my top Batman movie.
Fair enough.
But yeah, this is really good. This is top 3 for sure.
Okay.
Batfleck is still the physical embodiment of Batman. though.
I absolutely.
100%. No one's going to challenge that. I did want to do something before we moved on. I wanted to say, like, the Dark Knight itself. No, we don't have time to dissect these. But I was going to say, I think the
But
thing.
I mean, we could because it's very, it's a very similar style of film. I feel like they went
It
for
is.
the very, they've. I don't know.
It was a crime film.
Yeah.
It was.
I
It
think-
was. Yeah.
I think I don't want anyone to not think that we're coming correct here. The Dark Knight was really damn good.
Yeah.
No.
But I think what elevates this one above it is that a lot of the criticisms that come from, more hardened comic book fans and even people who, watch the film a lot of times over and over again, we start to realize, outside of the Joker, like a lot of stuff didn't work. Like the universe was too restricted. Like the way they did everything, they grounded too much in the Dark Knight, and where it worked in the Dark Knight, because that was chaos. Like you're not, whatever you ground is not going to work. I'm always going to make you step outside but when Bane tried to do it, it didn't really. No. It just seemed like
You couldn't have that.
Can't
you couldn't
have
keep that
Bane
same
without
energy.
Venom.
where it wasn't even this what.
Can't have Bane without Venom.
I mean, even not just that, like his aspersions, like the way everything fit, it just didn't work as well because the Joker literally was representing a change, and that's the only time that element really worked in the Dark Knight. Otherwise, everything was, if it doesn't work, like if we can't make it work, if it doesn't have a realistic grounded thing, we don't need it. And that was always my criticism with the Dark Knight too. So much to the fact where when you get to the third movie and you get to a flying plane, that just like like you're gonna let off the chain now.
A flying plane that was carrying a hydrogen bomb away,
like
and
just-
somehow had enough time to get
Not
away.
only that,
Hey,
the
we're not here.
football
We're not here to
field,
keep
yeah.
dunking on that movie. We've been dunking on that movie for like the past 10 years.
We're just saying like the things that don't work in that version or that universe, like
They work here.
Exactly. They did it here where nothing's off the table. Like in my mind, supernatural elements could come into this.
Yeah.
That's how not necessarily grounded they were,
open.
but they were chasing the actual, like the feeling, the Gotham, the Batman, all this stuff. Everything had character. Whereas the Dark Knight had if Batman was in the real world, like
This is
that.
what it would look like.
Exactly.
After
And-
seeing this version of the Riddler, how else can you see Edward E. Nigma be? Would you ever see him as some type of suave, charismatic guy?
I mean, there's certainly like
There's a space for it.
When we get the next Batman movie, because there have been 7 in our lifetime. When we get like the next one, we're all in our 50s and whatever. Like there is a version of the Riddler where you can give us the thing on the nose and it'll work out. Like we've seen it so many times where that does
I
work.
mean, it works in Arkham in the Arkham games.
Yes, there's a way it can work in the real world and it would look solid. But this version takes another way and it has a message behind it, and it was also it was just really good. It was meta, but not like
not slugging your
cringe.
face and everything. Yeah.
Not cringe.
I don't know. It depends on what your definition of cringe is. Some people might find his little temper tantrums cringe, but that shit was funny. So
I mean, but I think those were meant to be that.
Yeah, like the guy's like you can clearly see he's got issues that were never worked out. Another child crushed under the system of corruption and Gotham. Like it all worked.
I like the fact he reacted that way, especially towards Batman towards the end and everything, when his delusion seemed to be crumbling. Like, no, you're supposed to be agreeing with me. No, you're wrong. No, like everything starting to crumble. But then until he can get his composure back.
And you know what I kind of liked? The gigantic tease where it seemed like the Riddler had finally figured out who the Batman was. And
Me too. Like he was like, "Oh no, the Batman's over. Unmasking me."
He kept on chanting Bruce Wayne, but
cool.
It wasn't because he figured it out. It was because he was mad. That's the only one he didn't get.
I like the fact that he was waiting. Like he keeps saying my name. Maybe he
watching the camera,
but I'm not going to admit it on camera.
Yeah,
you saw the relief in his face. He said, "Oh, thank God, you're stupid."
Man,
yeah, had me worried there for a second.
Almost had me. Whew. Almost, yeah.
I think also you were going to touch on Heido, like I guess on the last like little teasing of the next film and everything.
Yeah, it was a unnamed Arkham prisoner who was played by, I forgot his real name, but he played
Druid.
Druid from Eternals.
Remember that guy?
No.
You mean the guy who made all those people fuck each other in the woods?
Yeah.
He gets it real? Okay.
The one who can control everyone's brain.
The one who's a superhero?
So that is a perfect fit for another Joker.
Yay. So soon.
It to me, it seemed like it was a Joker that they were going for. That they
I want to put my tinfoil hat on and call it Two-Face.
I thought so too, because you only saw one side. But
it does feel very like too on the nose, especially when he said the whole clown thing. Like I'm like, okay.
But then the laughter.
But then he said the whole friend line and saying like, it's always good for a comeback, and that's what got me believing that the Riddler and Two-Face are teaming up again.
But
I don't think
they're gonna hate each other like Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee hate each other.
Yeah. Oh my God, have you heard the story about how like Jim Carrey and what's his face, like they came before they started filming, and what's his face was like, "All right, Jim, just to let you know, I don't like you. I don't like anything you do. I don't like anything about you." And he's like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna make this work though." Like,
I never heard that, but that sounds like Tommy Lee Jones.
That does sound like Tommy Lee Jones. Like, I don't like you. I don't like anything about you.
That's hilarious.
But
he looked. Oh my goodness! Bro. Through the screen mesh on the door, he looked like fucking the ghost from Beetleborgs, the Elvis.
Yeah,
Flabber.
Yeah, it looked like Flabber through the fucking screen mesh.
Showing our age.
That's why I was kind of wondering, like, if it is the Joker, then is it gonna be that his whole misfiguring of his face and everything's more chemical burns? Like, I guess that's gonna be the route instead of being pure white or whatever. Or if he does have the white makeup, it's gonna be all bumpy and shit.
I mean, he's in Arkham right now. They're not allowed to have makeup. I think once he gets out, maybe he'll put it on.
Because it shows that he's already been around.
Yeah,
because with the Joker gang, or at least supposed Joker gang, is already still about and everything. So,
but with the cosmetics that they did on Colin Farrell, all the way that they were able to paint this world, I am excited to see what this Joker actually looks like.
Me too.
Yeah.
Can't be worse than tattoo.
Listen,
bad for it.
I don't think we got enough time. That's now. Granted, I haven't seen Mobius yet. I don't know if it's gonna be bad. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. But I'll say this: that's Jared fucking Leto. He doesn't like. He could have knocked that out of the park if he was allowed to share screen time with a Batman, not a fucking Suicide Squad. He just needed the right setting, or
a Justice League.
And I guarantee you, if he got a show and he showed up as the Joker in a fucking Batman something, people would be losing their fucking minds, because that shit Zack Snyder was trying to take him on, that future shit, like that just wasn't it. But like David Ayer he saw something in him, and David Ayer is not wrong often. All right, at least with casting choices, not the whole film.
I mean, but the film itself wasn't all his fault.
You can't put it all on him. Like, they shot 100.
Apparently, there's a whole Joker movie on the floor that they just left. Like, he was supposed to be the main villain. Apparently,
he was probably trying to hit something that they weren't trying to go for, because they were trying to make this stupid ass Suicide Squad movie, and he just got left out. Like, I'm just saying, it was unfortunate.
# release the Ayers cut.
No.
How dare you? Let it die. I know. No.
Hit him. Pelt him. Pelt him with things.
Pelt him. Get him.
They threw things at him, not because they hated him, because they knew he was right.
You were not Jesus.
All right, guys.
That being said,
what are we rating this? Yes, let's close it out.
Oh, one thing.
Oh yeah,
I haven't heard this many Jesuses, like Jesus said, since the first season of fucking Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, they were saying that shit a lot.
Jesus. Everybody was getting spooked, and the first thing they did was defile Jesus' name. That's like one of the commandments, isn't it? Don't use the Lord's name in vain.
It's Gotham. We live in vain.
We live in. Just shows how depraved.
With that being said, let's rate this movie. What'd you give it? Go ahead.
I can start. I'll be the martyr. I want to give it a 9, but I can see where you can give it a 10.
9 what though?
But I'll give it 10 Spanish speaking penguins out of 10.
Yeah, that was good.
My man, the ally. See, I'm always tired of seeing y'all fucking up Spanish. The penguin is here to get y'all in the right. It's L, it's La.
Not L.
Not L.
I'll be fucking that up all the time.
Go ahead.
I would have I'm up there too. Like I'll give it 9 stray cats out of 10. 9 stray, Selena cats. I know. I can't think of it. I have so much stimulus.
I'm a tough act to follow. I know.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything for the fuck.
I enjoyed it. I think a little bit less than you guys, but I still super enjoyed it. I'm leaning more to like an 8.7, like an 8.7. Dead Russian choked, strangled Russian chicks.
Oh my god! Yeah, that was so uncomfortable.
8.7 strangled Russian chicks out of 10.
Okay. All right.
Just give it the 9. God damn it.
All right.
Just give it the 9.
No, that's what he said. He said what he said.
All right, you're right. You're right.
It didn't land the second pirouette.
It didn't. It tripped.
The second pirouette was a little.
That right knee buckled.
Yeah.
That right knee buckled.
Gave in a little bit.
Honestly, I've been racking my brain trying to think of one. So I'm just gonna go from the heart.
Right.
I will give this movie. God, I will give this movie 9. I will give this movie 9 mismanaged wealth funds out of 10 because
9
my God,
billion.
because my God, just look at the account, Bruce. Fuck,
Bruce, just look at the numbers. Follow the money.
I mean, you spent all this time like getting computers and putting cameras in your eyeballs. Check your fucking bank account, bro.
Maybe Bruce was so in denial that he refused to look at anything that his father did.
Obviously, I have to start down there, not here. Obviously,
it starts from below, not above. No.
Like I said, man, I feel like with at least 8 hours under your belt, maybe he would have looked around, checked a piece of mail every once in a while, but like
actually come to a business meeting.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I do want to shout out the choreography for Catwoman's fight scenes.
Oh my God!
All legs,
Flawless.
all day.
Yes.
The Robert Pattinson's every once in a while felt a little like it was a little slow, like they were like they didn't
heavy punches. Yeah.
fully.
If you want to talk about that, go ahead. Because you're right. Robert Pattinson, when he was throwing his ones and twos,
His karate kicks.
What karate kicks? His like 1.5 karate kicks. I've always had an issue with Batman being a master martial artist, but he's only boxing.
That man is all fists and elbows. He doesn't know any martial arts. I really wish they would just dispel that one. That's the easiest one to let go of. Okay? This motherfucker doesn't know 120 martial arts.
That's why I was happy about.
They're grandmasters that have not mastered 3. And you're telling me that some guy who lives in the inner city and is teamed with the Justice League and is also like running around saving Gotham at night also has the time to perfect 120 martial arts on top of being the world's greatest detective? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Please, give me a break.
And Catwoman, I'm surprised that we didn't see her like scratch someone's face
I'm
more
really glad
often.
we didn't get that.
Yeah,
She was slick. She was cool. Her fight scenes were fast.
She was all
Fuck
legs.
that beanie.
All legs, no claws.
Fuck that beanie.
I loved it.
I did not like that beanie.
Like, you know, like the
She had
rappers
that-
are doing that now, where they put that fucking that mask over the face.
right,
They
that-
got
that's
that.
okay.
doesn't make it cool.
She had
Yes,
a
it
fucking.
does.
She had that little line across the face,
nose.
like a football, like an
Like a
old
cat
timey.
burglar.
No, like an old timey football helmet.
Listen, guys.
Like I get it. It was supposed to be a hat, a cat hat.
Like a
I
little
would have
ears.
loved. I would have loved an actual like cat beanie.
I think we just like we've been saying, like, this is 2 years and everyone's like, we're gonna see these characters evolve. So like I'm hoping that next time she'll have her claws. She'll realize
Yeah,
that's
they're
a good part.
marinating. They're not fully seasoned.
Yeah.
They're
This
trying
is
to discover their flavors.
Like I'm just happy they kept like short hair Selena is best Selena.
Yeah.
I'm happy they
it
kept
totally is.
It is. It's great.
With that being said, we are coming up to an hour, so I think it's time to wrap it up because we can sit here. Just it's a 3-hour movie. We can sit here.
We can sit for 3 hours.
breaking
yes,
down every
and
single
we haven't
Please,
got to all the shit that we even love and don't like. So yeah, let's.
We had to leave some for the people, you know.
Absolutely. So I've gave my review. I mean, I gave my little thing. I wish I had said something about her nails. Oh damn. Oh well, next time.
I'm a real pussycat now.
This has been another Thirst Quencher. We reviewed The Batman. If you've seen the film and you like our review, you agree with... I have to
Keep
do
going.
this. Oh, I thought they were playing me out, man. Please like and subscribe. Do you like everything about the movie? Do you hate everything about the movie? Do you think it was the best Batman you've seen on screen? You still think it's a Dark Knight? Let us know what you think. Please follow us on Thirsty Nerds on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. Like and leave a review. You can follow me at Sumo on Instagram and Twitter.
You can follow me at Stooge Prime on Twitter.
You can follow me at King Creates X, all K's, no C's.
And you can follow me under just_Uno on Instagram. And hopefully we don't get taken down DMCA from the humming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Listen,
Peace
this
out,
is our real
nerds.
faces.
That
Goodbye.
WB skillet about to hit us in the face.
Dum, dum, dum.